Hello. I don't know if this is going to kick in. I hope it does. Um, be nice if it does. Done that. Maybe, um, minimize that. So we can. Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody is there, but if, hello. I figured I'd go over this X Spaces because, well, after everything that happened uh, yesterday, maybe we'll get something interesting out of it. My normal, I guess see if my normal person pops up so I can see if this will see if my audio is okay on this. Um, I can't hear it on my end. Um, anyways, um, I mean, we are a couple minutes away. We're like 2 minutes away from it starting, but you know, maybe that's shirt from Gary. Oh, come on. Just waiting for them to get everything sorted so we can have this going. Hope they don't do. Hope same thing didn't happen the last time that Trump did one of these because, well, the one with Elon Musk, they did it went a little rough. So, all right, should be starting right about now. Good. See if Gary has anything funny going on. Okay. Yeah, this is a God. That guy looks like a joyless turd. Much less, no, should judge on that. I'm sorry, he looks like one. Let's see. Come on. Mm, why is it not kicking in? Okay. Maybe something is wrong on my end. Refresh. Trying to listen to it, but it. Come on. Please? You know, I don't care about listening anonymously. I'd just like to hear what's going on. Figures. Let's screw something up. Probably. Don't care. Why is it not kicking in? See if it kicked in for him. No. Sorry about this. I'm mostly incompetent, apparently. It started, but I can't. Trying to figure out anything.
Sauce,
Right,
party
audio's
games.
working. This. Just come on. I wish I wasn't crap. Uh, but let's keep this. I'm still sitting here waiting. And for none of the listeners, I'm not listening anonymously because why would I? I don't care to. Feel free to decide to work. Mm-mm. Refresh the whole thing all over again. Listen live. Please. Crud, I knew that. I have to say I like that one. Uh, Drop the mic for a second, see if I can get anything to kick in.
So everybody just we got into the carts and it's like
I can get it to kick in.
but he decided it was, and what the gunfire was actually.
I can get it to kick in. I don't know.
Grabbed his car up into his car to the
I'm
back
so
of his
sorry. I don't know what's going on.
truck.
I'm honestly dumbfounded. I'm doing everything I can to get it to kick in, but live on here, but no. I'm doing everything I can. I am so sorry. This is infuriating. I'm so sorry, anybody out there, because this is crap. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. I can't get it to kick in. I cannot get the spaces to kick in. Others have it going. Others can hear it. I can't get it to go. For God's sakes, is it finally going to start? Yes. All right, here we go. I am so
And
sorry
we've
about that.
actually raised a lot of money for the families
That was
and
turbulence.
family of Corey and the two gentlemen. And they both lived. They thought they were dead. The first thing I asked when I came up, I said, "How many people are dead?" Because we had a massive crowd, and with all those bullets flying, so three got hit. But there was a great display of
Is the audio coming in okay?
bravery. I mean, it was incredible. Normally, the crowd experts will tell you when they hear bullets, and we heard a lot of bullets going off.
Right.
A crowd would. This was a massive crowd. You couldn't even see the end of it in a big field, and that the crowd always runs. They call it a stampede, like cattle. I mean, they stampede, and a lot of people get killed when they stampede. But they hear bullets, but nobody ran.
They all
Nobody,
stayed.
tens of thousands of people. Nobody ran. In fact, you can see it in the small group behind me. There was a group of probably a couple of hundred people behind me, and nobody ran. In fact, they're standing up. Some of them are standing up looking for the shooter. The other one has to get credit to local law enforcement. The gentleman that shimmied up to the roof looked, saw the man with a gun, and probably made him go faster than he would normally go. And so he didn't exactly hit the target the way he wanted. There's something going on. I mean, perhaps it's God wanting me to be president to save this country. Nobody knows, but when I made the right turn, it's very unusual because the people weren't on the right. The people were standing out in front of me. When I turned my head at an exact 90-degree angle, the bullet came zooming by and clipped my ear. And the reason so much blood, they told me at the hospital, I said, why so much? The ear is the bloodiest part of the body because of cartilage. He was giving me a whole description. I said, you don't have to tell me, but it was a mess. But amazing bravery shown, amazing talent, like the doctor saving the two men that were hit. They were hit really badly. I won't tell you exactly what happened. They were hit badly. And they both lived. Corey didn't make it. Corey was in bad shape. We had a person from the National Guard about 10 seats over from Corey run to his aid, and he was hit in the head. With all of that, was giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation because he was still alive.
Wow.
And people couldn't believe it. They thought it was such an incredible act. Who would do it? It would, just an amazing thing. And we're going to take care of him too, because just the fact that he could do it, and some other people. So it was amazing bravery. And there was a mistake made, a bad mistake. That one building was unmanned on top.
Very.
And that was a mistake. There's nothing you can say about it. But that was some crazy day. And then yesterday you had another one with a different result. Actually, much better result because we lost Corey, and two gentlemen were very badly hurt, but they're in pretty good shape now.
Right.
A lot of talent. Those local doctors up there had tremendous talent.
Love to hear that. Well, this is more of a personal question.
Okay.
Just turned 30 last week. We were just chit-chatting outside the room here. Young entrepreneur, son, aspiring father one day.
Mm-hmm.
With all of your success, you have a wonderful family. A couple of your sons are actually looking at us right now. You have a wonderful business for yourself, a wonderful life for yourself. You could be on the golf course without worrying about gunmen coming at you. But after multiple attempts at your life, you're still here. You've already been president of the United States of America once. You're about to be president of the United States of America again.
I hope so.
We hope so. Why do you do this? What motivates you?
So we have a country that's in trouble, a country that I love. I love the people of this country, people like Corey, who were just this massive Trump fan and he got hit. But people like that, they're in love with the country and they hate seeing what's happened to the country when you have 21 million people pouring in from all countries all over the world, from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. Insane asylums, and they are different. Even prisons and jails, they are different. One's a little more severe than the next. They're coming in as terrorists, and they're coming into our country at levels that nobody's ever seen, and they're taking over our towns, and they're taking over small cities and big cities. I mean, look at New York, look at Chicago, look at LA. Tens of thousands of these people, and they're rough people in many cases. I mean, they are rough, tough people. Venezuela gangs. If you look at Aurora in Colorado, you have a governor that doesn't know what he's doing. He's petrified to be there. He doesn't know what to say. I mean, they're literally taking over real estate. They're becoming real estate developers in a much different way, right? They're taking over buildings. Everyone's afraid of them. And they have a big AK, talking about AK-47s. That's what they have. They carry massive guns. You say, where would they get this kind of power? And they're vicious people. They're gang members from Venezuela, largely, and known as being one of the roughest gangs anywhere in the world. You have MS-13, which is a bad gang, and you have these guys. And we're going to clean them out. We're going to get them out. But the bottom line, just answer it quickly. I love the country. We're going to make America great again, and we'll be able to do it. We did it once, and we'll do it again, and much easier this time. The border is in much worse shape than it's ever been. This is the worst border there's ever been in any country.
So audio's
They have
good.
not done the job that they have to do. I mean, you have Kamala, she was the border czar. I call her the comrade because she's a Marxist. She wants to tax everybody out of business. She wants to raise taxes to 70, 80%. She wants an unrealized capital gain tax, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Nobody's ever even heard of such a thing. And they'll put everybody out of business. We'll end up in a depression if she gets in. And very simply, though, we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. And I love doing it.
Being from Canada, I can probably relate to what that means.
Yeah. You've got some problems.
A crypto entrepreneur based in Montreal here. So it's it's not always the best feeling as someone who's trying to build something out of nothing here. Speaking of which, I'm wondering now. I know this is quite different, right? But I know many people in crypto feel this way as we're trying to change the financial system. Quite literally, we're trying to change things and make a difference, but it always feels like there's some sort of a force against us. In your case, do you feel similarly that there's a force out there to get you?
Well, you have a radical left force, and we have forces. I say that we have a lot of evil in the world. The world is a nasty place. And you can see that with some of the things that have happened. We've been treated, I think, very unfairly, but I've done so well. It's an amazing country in some ways, but we have evil forces. You have the outside forces with the enemies, and you call them Russia, China, various places. I don't know that they're enemies. I think we'll get along great with China. I think we'll get along great with Russia. I want to get Russia to settle up with Ukraine and stop this. Millions of people being killed, far greater than the number you read about. But I want to get that done before I even take office. I want to get that done as president-elect because it has to be solved. Too many people dying. Too many cities are just in rubble right now. You look at the culture is just being destroyed. We got to get that done, and I'll get it done. There wouldn't have been an October 7th. There wouldn't have been Russia attacking Ukraine. There wouldn't be inflation. Gentlemen that shimmied up to inflation, which has hurt people so badly. You wouldn't have had that horrible type of withdrawal. We were getting out of Afghanistan, but with dignity and strength. That was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And frankly, Russia would have never gone into Ukraine if it weren't for that. They looked at that and they said, this country is no longer run by Trump. This country is run by stupid people. And we have a great military. I took out ISIS in 4 weeks, and everyone said it was going to take 4 or 5 years. I took them out in 4. Our military is great, but you have to have the right leadership running it. So the bottom line is that it can be nasty. But it's only going to get worse. If I don't win, it's only going to get worse. It's going to get really bad. We'll end up being Venezuela on steroids. We'll end up in 1929 type depressions. And we have to make sure that this person doesn't.
Neither had I.
This is far worse than Biden. That was if you think of it, that was an overthrow of a president. He won. He had 14 million votes. He had no votes. Crazy Nancy Pelosi walked in, and some of the others, and they say, we want you out. He said, I'm not going to get out. I want to run. I was leading him by a lot after the debate.
I'm going to drop my mic for the moment.
And they literally, it was a coup in the truest sense. This was the first coup of an American president. And I think it's, look, I don't say fair or not fair. He was very nice today. He called up to make sure I was okay, to make sure that, do I have any suggestions or anything? Mm-hmm. We do need more people on my detail because we have 50, 60,000 people showing up to events, and right. Other people don't have that. But he couldn't have been nicer. But I thought he was treated really unfairly. He went through a primary system, he won, and then they threw him overboard. And she got no votes. She got no votes. But she'd be very bad for the country. We have to save our country. We can't play games, or we can't have a Marxist communist president, because that's not what it's all about. So we're going to do it, and we're going to make our country greater than ever before, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to love your crypto. And as long as you have crypto, you're happy. So I know what makes you happy, nothing else but crypto.
Yeah, I mean, when the Twitter Spaces was officially announced and that you put the tweet out, a lot of people were like, well, who's this Farouk guy? And obviously, a lot of people started digging into this Farouk guy, and the main reply that was that I'm just this crypto bro. But you know what, Mr. President, I am a proud crypto bro. And it seems like you're starting to become one of us, if not already. I know for a fact that your children are quite involved in the space. I mean, we have Baron, Don Jr., and Eric on the Twitter Spaces right now. Eric and Don Jr. here, who will be joining us a little later on this programming. But getting to crypto now, because I already see the people on Twitter Spaces really eager to hear you talk about this. At the recent Bitcoin conference, you mentioned that, and I quote, America should be the crypto capital of the world. Yeah. That was a big statement, and I believe the correct one. So why is it not right now?
Well, I think it will be right now. Right now you have a very hostile SEC. I guess you'd have to say, I don't know, when you say administration, do you call it Biden or do you call it Harris? Nobody really knows what to call it, but maybe we'll say a combination of both. But they've been very hostile toward crypto, toward all of it, and extremely hostile, like nobody can believe. Nobody even understands why. My attitude is different. If we don't do it, China's going to do it. China's doing it anyway.
They are.
But if we don't do it, we're not going to be the biggest, and we have to be the biggest and the best. And when you look at values, and when you add it all up, the value of this whole thing is bigger than they were showing me. The top 20 corporations and all of this, the numbers are just gigantic. It suffers from some credibility lapses. I mean, some things were done or not done, but it's very young and very growing. And if we don't do it, China's going to do it. If we don't do it, other countries are going to do it. A lot of countries would like to be in a position. We have the advantage because it's us. But you have a big advantage because it's me, because I do believe in it. I also know a lot of friends that are really into it. And my kids, I mean, Barron knows so much about this.
Right.
Eric, and Barron's a young guy, but he knows it. He talks about his wallet. He's got 4 wallets or something. And I'm saying, what is a wallet? Explain this to me. But he knows this stuff inside out. And Eric and Don know it so well.
They do.
It's almost like younger people know it a lot better than older people. But I have a lot of respect for them. They've shown great judgment, all of them. And I think you're onto something. You're onto it a lot sooner than most people. It's sort of like it's a fledgling business, and yet it's a massive business. But it has a chance to really be something special. And when I do things, I notice a lot of crypto comes in. People pay with crypto.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't see that even a year ago, 2 years ago. So I think it's really, it's big, and yet it's a fledgling compared to what it will be.
And I love that you're mentioning your children and how Barron is using his wallet. Similar to me, I'm trying to teach my mother how to use it. I send her 1 ETH every Christmas, 1 ETH every birthday, and same for my little Zoomer brother, who probably is in Barron's age category. So has learning about crypto from your children had an impact on you?
Well, it makes it easier, and it's sort of like a language. I have a beautiful granddaughter, Ivanka's daughter, and she is Arabella. She speaks perfect Chinese.
Wow.
And their other 2 children, 2 great young boys, they speak perfect Chinese. They learned it when they were 2 and 3 and 4 from a nanny who was Chinese.
That's impressive.
And she was from China. And she would teach Arabella. When President Xi was here, President Xi couldn't believe it. She walked up to him and had a perfect conversation. And I said, so how did she do? He said, as good as any 10-year-old girl in Beijing. I remember that statement. She speaks it perfectly, but she learned it at a very young age.
Wow.
If you're going to learn, if it's China or Japan or any language,
right,
it's not that easy to do. No. But as a child, it's almost like a natural. So it's a little bit like that, I think, with crypto. Now, I think crypto is a lot easier,
right,
if you want to know. But there is a learning curve. And yeah, my kids really understood it, and they understood it pretty much right at the beginning.
Yeah, we were chatting with Eric in the back, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, this is really awesome."
He knows. Yeah.
Oh, we're about to hear all about your son's crypto endeavors and how much they know about it, which is really cool. I just came back from Asia. I was at the Korea Blockchain Week and WebEx in Japan, and over there at the moment, everybody's in Singapore tuning live to listen to us live on Spaces for Token 2049. What's impressive in the East is that crypto is not the future; it's the present. Whereas when I come here and in Canada and North, it feels like I'm being taken aback. So the question I have for you, following up on what I was asking earlier, is why is it so important for America to lead in cryptocurrency adoption and innovation?
Well, it's crypto, it's AI, it's so many other things. AI, speaking of an interesting future, it needs tremendous electricity capability beyond anything I've ever heard. It never made sense to me, but this is what it needs. If you take all of the electricity coming out of the US, in order to be dominant in AI, you need twice that amount just for this one thing. Who would think that? You need twice the electricity we already have. And you got to get started. I mean, you have to be, if you're the US, you have to get started.
Right.
You don't want to be left in the dust. And China's already building electric plants, and they want to build them for the AI, and it's very important, but you need tremendous electric. And in this country, because of our strong environmental impact statement problems that we have, China doesn't have those problems. They don't do them. They just build. They said, build over here,
Right.
build over there. With us, you have to go through years, but I'll make it possible to create tremendous amounts of electricity very rapidly. But people don't know that. People don't know that you need double the electricity of what we already have. So you want to get in, whether it's crypto or AI or other things that are coming along, and it's part of the game. We want to have a great country. We want to stay at the top. We're making things now. We're starting, and it started under my administration, that there was no chance of ever even getting involved in for a long time.
Right.
And we're leading the pack in so many ways. One of the things I'm very proud of is Space Force. We were getting lapped in space by China and by Russia. And now we are the leader in space. And I have to tell you, Elon is doing a fantastic job. He's my friend. He endorsed me for president, like so strongly. It was incredible. But he is doing an amazing job with respect to space. When you look up, I think somebody said he sends 90% of the rockets sent up throughout the world are his.
Wow.
And you got to hand it to him. He's something.
He definitely is. Wish he was here, but at least we're using his. We'll get him. We're definitely using his platform to do so, and I'm sure there's a reason for that. So, to create this future we're talking about, right? Like, there's a lot of American entrepreneurs, founders in crypto that need to sadly leave the country because it feels like at times we're being treated like we're not really welcome to build companies here. The CEO of our company over at Rug Radio was actually debanked earlier last year, but we'll get into that later. Do you think it's important for America to have a legal framework for crypto so that businesses can thrive and survive here?
I do, and they should have certain safeguards too. Maybe somebody would say that's a bad thing to say, but no, it can't be totally freewheeling. And I spoke to some of the big crypto people, they want safeguards, they want certain safeguards. But it's a very hostile environment right now. From what I understand, the SEC has been extremely hostile and really going after people. And I think, frankly, since they heard I was involved, they've treated people much better. Maybe they view it as votes. But people that were under serious investigation for having done nothing wrong are all of a sudden not allowed to go free. And I really believe that's because they see, this is a very big market. This is a very powerful market. So I'm glad I helped. If I helped, I don't know, maybe I didn't. But the SEC has been unbelievably hostile. The one thing is that if for some reason bad things happen and we don't win the election, those people that were under investigation and that are free as a bird right now, and people that weren't being looked at in the crypto world, they will be living in hell because it'll start the day after the election if they win. And I view it differently. I mean, I just view it that we have to be the top no matter what we do.
Right.
Chips or anything else, we're really starting to go with the chips. We have to be number one. And I think AI is really important, but I think crypto's one of those things we have to do. Whether we like it or not, we have to do it.
It's really, really cool to hear it from you in person. We've only heard it on TV, in newspaper, etc. But it feels good to know that a presidential candidate and someone who is already president of the United States of America feel this way about cryptocurrency. I'm sure myself and a lot of people in the industry are relieved to hear that. And I will see what the results are in November. But on something a little lighter now, I remember the day your NFT collections came out. That was super cool. So I host a morning show called FOMO Hour with my friend OSF and Mando and now Tyler. And so we were live on air when the link dropped. And so it was the very, very first collection. There was a chance to have dinner with you. And I remember just like scrambling to buy them. We're staying live. We stopped the show live on air to thousands of people like, no, we got to buy these. We're going to buy these. I got to spend $25K on this. Let's go. Right. Let's do it. Which is another cool thing about people in crypto, right? Or there's crypto bros that they call. And so we're trying to buy these things. And it was just so electric and crazy that we actually failed. But hey, I guess that's a good thing because the collection, ended up selling out. And then you ended up doing, I believe, you ended up doing that 3 times over. Can you tell us more about the success that you have had with NFTs, but also like, did that surprise you?
Well, I got in very late and NFT was considered cold. I mean, to be honest, it was a cold industry. It had its day a few years before, as you probably know. But when I did it, I said, what do we have to do with anything else? And it's playing cards and
Right.
some beautiful artwork, and other things. And we went out with 45,000 NFTs, and it was amazing. We
Yeah.
thought it would take 6 months, maybe a year to sell. It sold out. I don't want to say, I don't want to get myself in trouble by saying exactly the first day, but pretty close to it. It was like
think
almost
so.
immediately.
It was quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
we failed
almost-
every transaction.
Right, almost immediately. And then we did a second one likewise, and then we did a third one, and then we just did a fourth one. And I asked the people from the first three, I said, well, do you want to have us do, because, you know, they have certain, they have very big pride to start off with. But I said, are you going to, if we do a fourth one, does that affect you and the ones you already own? Because some people bought a lot of them, some people bought one. And they're all very happy, really happy. I said, does it affect you? And everybody, it was like sort of a phone poll, you know, just like, and everybody wanted the fourth one, which surprised me because you would think they wouldn't want the fourth one because maybe it waters down their own
Right.
pieces that they have. And they did. They wanted it, and they wanted it badly. So we did a fourth and just did it recently. And I think it's just about gone. It's amazing. And one of the things I know, the crypto played a big role because
Right.
they paid.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we're not getting checks with dollars. We're getting crypto.
It's instant.
Instantly. Yeah. It's been, and that taught me a little bit about what you love. It taught me something that was incredible. We did the NFTs. It was so cool. People said, don't do it. Don't do it. You're not going to.
I'm sure.
And we did it, and it sold. Literally, we had anywhere from 6 months to a year, and I think we did it in a day or
Yeah.
something.
No, it
like
was
that. Right?
It was quick.
Yeah.
It was quick, and
Very
you know
good.
what? It was fun.
It was
That's
fun.
what it was.
It is fun.
It was a lot of fun. So I'm aware that you probably have a million things to get to. So I kind of want to finish off with a couple
Good.
more questions for you, Mr. President. So first and foremost, were the NFTs a big part of the story, of your story, of how you came to see the value in digital assets?
A little bit because so many people paid
Right.
this way. If they didn't, if they would have been paying in dollars, I would have said, you know, that's standard. I would have assumed. And I was blown away. I wasn't overly interested in it, to be honest, but I did ask, like, what percentage was taken between Bitcoin and all of the
Right.
other things, but through crypto, and it was a massive majority, and I was a little surprised by that. And that was a while ago now, and it opened my eyes. But I think my children opened my eyes more than anything else.
Wow.
And plus, I have a friend on my right who's a very smart guy, and he's not quite as young as his fantastic son, who we're dealing with, Alex, and all of them. But you know, he knows a lot about this stuff for a man of his age. He's still pretty young, but for a man of his age, Steve Witkoff knows a lot about this.
He definitely does. And he's sitting on your right. We're about to get to Steve Witkoff. And for everybody in the audience right now, if you're listening to us live, hang tight. I have one more question for Mr. President, and then we're going to be joined by Don Jr., Eric Trump, and the World Liberty Financial teams, and Corey and everybody, the advisors around it. So we have quite the programming for you. But Mr. President, one last question that you may or may not have answered with your last answer here is, so if there was one thing that got you to see crypto differently, what was it?
If it was what?
One thing that got you to see crypto differently. What was it?
Well, maybe the NFTs. You know, you sort of brought that up because I was surprised again at the percentage of them that were sold through that form. You could do a new form of currency. You could call it anything you want, but that was. I think it was also the level of enthusiasm that my young sons have for this. You know, pretty young guys. I mean, one's extremely young and two are pretty young, right? But the level of enthusiasm they have for crypto.
Yeah.
And also, just to add a third element, I have a lot of friends, very smart people, and they're believers. So it means something to me.
Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Everybody hang tight, please. I will go to Mr. Witkoff in a second, and we'll be joining by the next set of guests. But Mr. President, it's an honor. Thank you for having me. And honestly, the fact that you've done this the day after a second assassination attempt means the world to me. Just a little 30-year-old boy from Montreal that, you know, started from just hosting Twitter Spaces, now hosting yourself. So thank you for allowing me to do so.
Great job. Thank you very much.
Everybody hang tight. We'll be right back.
Funny, I step away for a refill on tea, and lo and behold, of course, I was listening while I was getting my tea. Now, I don't know if you're still there, old man. Uh, but I honestly really don't know anything about crypto. uh, I guess I'm too old. But a thing from Musk 1 minute ago. Yesterday, Donald J. Trump, and JD Vance had posted this, and Musk just shared it. Yesterday, Donald J. Trump nearly lost his life. An armed gunman waited for him in the bushes. He brought a GoPro camera to record it. The Secret Service agent spotted the barrel of the gun through a fence and shot at the gunman. The gunman fled. He was caught, and now we slowly learn about him and his motive. President Trump is my running mate and my friend, but he is more importantly.
And we are back over here. That was quite a good interview with President Trump, wasn't it, everyone? There you go. We got this room packed with people. Everybody's still here. Hang tight. Don't leave. Keep sharing. I want to see those retweets because the State of the Crypto address at Mar-a-Lago is still on over here. I have Steve Witkoff on my right, who has to run, to Fox, right? Fox. Is that where you're headed next, Hannity? All right. I got the opener for Hannity. That's pretty cool. That's not bad, right? That's like opening for like Led Zeppelin or something. I don't know. So Steve, I'm just gonna go chat with you real quick, and then we'll get to our other guests. First and foremost, you were with President Trump yesterday on the golf course.
Yeah.
As he was trying to sink that last putt, as President Trump was saying. But how do you feel?
I feel blessed that I was out there because I got to see what he has to live his daily life like. 2 assassination attempts in the last 2 months. He's been conspired against. He's been vilified. He ought to be commended for his 4 years of public service as a president. And I was glad I could be out there and see what it was about for him. He was as courageous a man he is as courageous a man as I've ever seen. He cared about his friends first. He asked about his friends first. And it was inspiring to watch him.
Yeah, thank you for
And the Secret Service, I would echo what he said.
Right.
They were incredible. They put their lives on the line for him.
Wow. It's incredible that he's just back up today and just
It's who he is. He's resilient. He's stoic. And who wouldn't want those qualities in a leader? He is a natural born leader.
So to go back now to what we're here to talk about, and we're going to get in the weeds of it a little more. So how did this collaboration happen? I know it's an incredible story. Could you walk me through it?
My son introduced me to two partners, Chase Hero and Zach Folkman, who are exceptionally bright people. They look a little different than us because they dress a little different than us because that's the crypto
A few more
world.
tattoos.
Right? I have 1 or 2 tattoos, but
Chase, really?
Chase has, yeah, I have it's hard to see here.
It's okay.
But I have a tattoo of my son who I lost, Andrew. Both of my tattoos are of him. I actually think he's the one who put me out with the president yesterday, so I could witness his courage and talk about him to the American public. But I was introduced to Chase and to Zach, and I met traders from all over the world. And these guys are as smart as any currency traders I've ever met. And they began talking to me about decentralized finance, which means frictionless finance, and why it made sense for people, and about the forgotten who can't get credit out there. Credit is what drives the American economy. And as I began to understand it, I said, who would understand this better than the Trump family? And so we had a meeting initially with Eric, Don Jr., and the president and his counsel. And we said, let's go pursue it. We've been on it for close to 9 months, spent a lot of time on diligence with really, really good lawyers on how to operate in the space.
Right.
And here we are today, the culmination of a pretty robust effort.
So do you think that this could really change the way wealth is created in America?
I think decentralized finance is the way of the future.
Right.
If you think about the fact that if you want to borrow money today, you have to be almost anointed. You have to be a member of the privileged class. I remember when I left law, I represented the president. I wanted to be in business. It was very, very hard to get credit, and credit again is what drives us. Crypto allows it to happen. Decentralized finance as an application of crypto allows it to happen. So, and we see as a business venture, a huge approachable class of people who have been either debanked, as you talked about, or they don't have a bank that they can go to, and they don't have a bank that will listen to them. So we look at it as a business venture, and we say we can democratize it. We can be more egalitarian about it. And at the same time, we can probably do very well in it because there is a large group of people who can't gain credit in the system. And isn't that unfortunate that young people with great ideas, they can't prosecute those ideas? That's a terrible thing. That's not a good thing. That's not the American dream.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wyckoff, for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so up next, of course, I mean, Don Jr., if you want to, however you guys want to set up here, we got a whole programming for y'all here. So really hang tight. We're filming the whole thing. Everything's going to be broadcasted live a little later on video as well. Everybody's looking great over here.
That's most important, right? As long as we look good. I mean, I'm liking your hair, the flow.
Thank you.
It's pretty solid.
There was some polls going online around like who's got better hair, would it be President Trump or myself? I think your father has an incredible flow. I have to give it to him.
As a Trump who may or may not one day inherit the Trump hair genes, I don't make fun. I don't mock it because you never know. One day I could weigh something. So far, I'm 46. I'm doing pretty good on the hair department. Yeah, I'm an old man.
There's no chance.
Yeah, look at that white in the beard. Still haven't had the white in the hair, and I'm not vain enough to dye it. So we're good so far.
Well, you're gonna have to share your secrets with us maybe after the stream, because I'm getting old. My knees are hurting from being 30 years old.
Yeah, it's rough. It gets a lot worse, but I promise you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This thing I miss most about youth is just not waking up sore every day for no reason whatsoever. It's
Oh my. Anyway, so let's get right into this. I mean, Don, your traditional banking systems, have not been working for many Americans. This is something that you speak about a lot. It's something that Mr. Wyckoff talked about, and that your father talks about, and all of you at this stage. I talked earlier about how my company's been debanked. My CEO has been debanked, and he's an American citizen from Texas. Got a call one day and said, "Hey, come pick up your money, and we're gonna send it to you by the mail. Here's a check." Said, "No. I'm gonna come pick it up." To me, it was insane that this is even an option, and we're talking about someone who has some money, right? Yeah. And so I know your family is very familiar with being debanked. So how does DeFi fix these problems?
Well, listen, I mean, I think, I was probably a late adapter into some of, these technologies in the sense that, I was a traditional real estate guy. We were bricks and mortar. And, there was a time period where, the Trumps, we could have picked up the phone and called any CEO of any bank and gotten a loan from anyone in the world on any project and, low LTVs and everything like that. Then we got into the political arena and like that, it was turned off. I mean, it wasn't that we didn't have incredible balance sheets. It wasn't that we didn't have, the reserves. I mean, I've had it for some of my personal businesses. Same story as your partner. I mean, I had an operating business with a partner, and he calls me one morning. It happened to be the day of like CPAC, 2 years ago. And he calls me. He's like, our operating account has no money in it. I think we got hacked. Like, what do you mean we got hacked? It's like, it was PNC Bank. I mean, this is a major bank, and whatever it is, this is a legit business with, small business. It was a little media company just to sort of aggregate news that was not being shown to people otherwise.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry. I turned
he
off
calls
my mic
bank,
because I
like,
had
listen, I
hiccup.
think we got hacked. Oh,
Um,
no, you weren't hacked. We just don't want to do business
The
with you.
part with
They didn't. They broke up with
President
us by
Trump
mail.
himself
They
is
didn't
over.
even call us. Like, we
Now
didn't even get
it's
the call. They just
switched
like, oh yeah,
over
there's a cashier's
to,
check. You'll have it in the mail in a couple days. But we got an operating business. We got
having,
payroll. We got what are you talking about?
Don Jr.
So we went from being able to pick up the
Eric
phone to
and
anyone to
others
having the same thing
talking.
happen. We
And
have
I didn't know
family
if you
members
wanted me
that
to
have had,
continue on this
seven-figure
without
accounts
them.
with specific
I mean,
banks.
I
Be like, well, I just
really
want to
don't
use
have
some of
any
that money to get a home
input
loan
on
for this. Will you write the rest of the
cryptocurrency
loan?
because I don't really know
No,
anything
that's too
about
risky
it.
for us. It's like, we have more money in the account than the value of the home. What are you talking about?
Should probably learn
It's
about it,
too
but I'm
risky,
kind of
but
old.
So
But
it's interesting because we went from being sort of
the question
people that
was
would have
if you
been
want me to
the
continue from
elite in
here
that
and just
world to just being
continue
like
the
totally canceled, and it changed
the
our
X
perspective so
space,
much. I think we understand
or
what so many Americans are going through, and when you really
I
look at
was
America
wondering
and
if
our foundation,
you don't care about the rest.
the way our founding
Okay, well,
fathers set
first things
everything
first,
up.
We'll leave this. There we go. Yeah, that works for me. It was getting into the weeds of things I just don't understand. I know I'm old. Leave me alone. I'll get crapped on anyways for stating that I'm old and don't understand things. But we can go over a few other things before I get off of here. But I am considering streaming a game for a little while after this over on Twitch. So I don't think I'll have many people watching, but I'll try. See if I can find anything funny on the way. Oh, if you ever get a chance, look up Angry Cops. He did a video here recently. Oh boy. There was a VFW in a prison. And,
With the Center for Worker Justice. I want to know, when you become president, would you be committing to close immigration detention centers?
Absolutely, on day one. On day one. Please. And thank you for your question over here.
Hi, my name's Sally Hartman. I'm a volunteer with the Center for Worker Justice. I want to know, when you become president, would you be committing to close immigration detention centers?
Absolutely, on day one. On day one. Please.
oh, heck, God, just completely like the rest of the country. Yay. What the hell is even that? No, I'm not clicking it. I don't need the nightmares. Yeah, the Blair's crew made it back. Huh. Kind of weird. You ride with Musk, you can actually make it up to space and back and make it rather eventless. You ride with Boeing and you're doomed to stay up there for a while. Oh God, nope, not showing that. Oh boy, no, no. We're going to stop sharing that because I don't want that horror show on my screen. Ooh, poor little birdie. There was something else I was trying to pull. I mean, I could go over and read the statement from J.D. Vance earlier. Um, where he was talking about what happened yesterday. Um, but yeah, nope. No. Showing the birdie. No. I feel unclean having accidentally had that. Oh, let's see. Yeah, indeed. Uh, all right, well, time to get some laughing in. Come on, load for me. Load for me. Mm. Oh, this is going to be. I wonder. Let's see. Share screen. Yes, we want that. Here we go. From the post millennial. If you want a good laugh, look at that headline. Oh, offering $1 million to hold a parade in Gaza. Ooh. A group wanting to call out the alliance of some pro-Palestine protesters with LGBTQ advocates said Monday that it is offering $1 million to Queers for Palestine or any similar outfit to host a gay pride parade in Gaza or the West Bank. Um, let's see if I want to break it down to obviously the $1 million prize is something that is flashy. It was designed to get attention. It was designed to turn heads. But the greater drive behind this project is one of equality and broad human rights. This Angelo person. Okay. Um. mm, uh, I don't want people to just shrug off this campaign as some kind of publicity stunt or something that is supposed to be comical. It's actually a legitimate offer, Angelo told Fox News Digital. This campaign emerged to call out these purported advocates of LGBTQ equality and put our money where our mouths are, he said. I think that this is a real opportunity for these groups to legitimately step up and host an event that would either highlight the fact that the Palestinian territories are not indeed a good place for LGBTQ individuals to be living, or it could be a breakthrough moment for pluralism and peace in the Middle East. Mm. Uh, Not to make fun of it, but I just saw the headline and all I can think of is that doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, more power to people that choose to do it. Go for it. I wouldn't advise it, but I wish no ill upon you, and hopefully it goes peacefully and works well if you decide to do so. But I have a bad feeling. Oh, joy. Isn't this lovely? I'll see if I can. All right, let's share this one. This is not so funny. Suspect in second Trump assassination attempt laughs, smiles in court as he is hit with 2 federal gun charges. Douchebag laughed, I'm not going to call him by his name, and smiled around 4 times as he was speaking to his court appointed lawyer. Would be Trump assassin suspect douche nozzle McGee here, wearing shackles and gel scrubs, on Monday laughed and smiled during his first court appearance for the suspected attempt on Trump's life on Sunday. He laughed and smiled around 4 times as he was speaking to his court appointed lawyer. Fox News reported no cameras were permitted inside the court hearing where he is facing charges of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, as well as possession of a firearm with a destroyed serial number, amongst other things you could throw in there. Hopefully we'll hear more charges soon. Douche Nozzle appeared engaged and answered all questions asked by the judge in the 10-minute hearing on Monday. He will be formally arraigned on September 30th. The outlet reported that other charges are possible, and the initial charges on Monday will keep Douche Nozzle in custody, pending more court proceedings. Sorry, like I said, I refuse to call him by his name. He's a douche nozzle. The judge read off the penalties charged so far in the case, which includes a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, and supervised release for the first offense of possessing a firearm as a felon. The second charge carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, as well as a supervised release from prison. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to finish reading this article, and I'm going to end the stream, and I'm going to try to get things set up for streaming something else. More fun than reading this stuff, because blood's going to shoot out my eyes. So, all right, enjoy. I'll catch you in the other stream. Okay. As well as supervised release from prison, Douche Nozzle told Judge yes when he was asked if he understood the penalties associated with the charges. Douche Nozzle told the judge that he does not have enough income to hire his own attorney and would have to use a public lawyer in the case. He told the judge that he makes $3,000 a month. I have words on that. And has nothing in savings and nothing in real estate holdings. The U.S. Attorney Adam McMichael, or I hope that's how you pronounce it, asked that Douche Nozzle remain in custody, citing Douche Nozzle would be a pretrial flight risk. The detention hearing is scheduled for September 23rd, and the probable cause hearing has been set for September 30th. I've honestly been avoiding a lot of doing videos on first the other scatterbrained Douche Nozzle, we'll put it that way, from July, and then this Douche Nozzle. Yeah, the first one's definitely scatterbrained. He just can't collect his thoughts anymore. Sorry, shouldn't laugh at it. But let's see. Let's see. Oh, we're not going to go into this. I have no problem if, although I didn't. Why does it have to be gender neutral? I'll retitle it like that. Look, at no point. I mean, it was a few years ago. You had I forget the name of the admiral, but he said they not saying they wouldn't take women in there. Just most women don't want to get onto into an enclosed cigar tube, hundreds of feet underwater for 6 months out of the year. It doesn't go well. It doesn't do well with most men, but women have a higher tendency of having claustrophobia. So who knows? All for it. Go for it. Enjoy. Good luck. I hope it goes well. I'm sure there are many women that can handle it. And just like there are many men that can't. So I wish them well, but I'm not going to go into that. I just don't know why you have to listen to the first gender neutral submarine. I did not know a submarine had a dongle or not. Okay. But let's go into this, see if there's anything interesting here. New Trump drops full receipts on Democrat rhetoric that inspired another attempt on his life. Democrats used increasingly incendiary rhetoric against President Trump in the days, weeks, and months leading up to 2 assassination attempts. The Donald Trump campaign put together an extensive list of different quotes from Democratic politicians that the Trump camp stated inspired another attempt on President Trump's life. The list was published on Monday following a second assassination attempt on Trump while he was at his golf course in West Palm Beach, Florida on Sunday. Complete with links to each quote, the campaign put together 39 different statements made by prominent Democratic politicians in recent years, such as Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, saying that the GOP nominee is a threat to our democracy and fundamental freedoms, as well as he is an existential threat. One of Biden's quotes was, "It's time to put Trump in a bullseye." The list also included a quote when Harris joked about killing Trump when he was president in 2018, when Ellen DeGeneres asked her if she would want to get stuck in an elevator with Trump or other Republicans. Harris responded, "Does one of us have to come out alive?" and then laughed hysterically. I would pull up the video, but I'm worried about getting struck on it because it's all over Twitter too. Well, X. I got to stop calling Twitter. One quote from Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz included on the list was, "Are Republicans a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes." The list also includes a quote from former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who at one time said Trump is a threat to our democracy of the kind that we have not seen. Trump has faced 2 different assassination attempts in just over the last 2 months. With the incident on Sunday in July, Trump was shot at by Scatterbrain Douche Nozzle, a would-be assassin who ended up striking Trump's ear fractions of an inch from killing the GOP nominee. Yes, I know the name of the person is there. Yes, we know the name of the guy. But I have no respect for the Scatterbrain Douche Nozzle. And that's how we should treat it. We also should treat the people that have been burying any information on it, because, wow, it's as soon as they can, they just scurry it away. We got to cover something else. Can't pay any attention to that. No. It might make them look bad because they're incompetent. But anyways, I'm going to call the stream here. I thank you for anybody who watched. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning when I was trying to get it to go in. I could not get the little thing to pop up for it to go in where I could kick into audio to listen. That's my fault. Not theirs. But I thank you for watching. I will try to stream something else on this channel soon, or do a video soon, because there's plenty of things I could do a video on. If you have any topics you'd like me to do a video on, I don't mind doing that. Just as a side note, if it's something going over a bill or some sort of legislation, I I will need time to read said legislation before I ever post a video or comment on it, because I don't trust any news site on it. I go to the actual congressional website and read the bills themselves, because I would rather get it from the horse's mouth than some commentator, to be honest. That, and I have nothing but time to read. So I'm just a little slow reader with political documents, because with policy documents, because they use legalese, and well, it's all Greek to most people, including me. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a pleasant evening, day, or whatever it is for you, and I will catch you in the next one.